Association of Inbound Tour Operation. Mr. M. Dayakaran, Regional Credit Head, Northern Region. Mr. Upali Ratnayaka, Deputy Director General, Sri Lanka Tourism Department Authority. At last, not the least, I welcome all the participants to this great event. I consider this event a pleasant opportunity for me to welcome you all. Thank you. யாழ்ப்பாண பல்கலைக்கழகம் முன்னெடுக்கின்ற இன்றைய நிகழ்வுக்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவரையும் இரு கரங்கூப்பி வருக வருக என வரவேற்று விடைபெறுகின்றேன். நன்றி.
Thank you, Mrs. Arulanandam, for your earnest welcome. Next, I would like to invite Professor S. Siveshan, Program Head, and who also gave an immense support to inaugurate Tourism and Hospitality Management as a separate degree program in the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, to deliver his opening remarks.
Good day to all. Madhuru Devo Baba, Piduru Devo Baba, Acharya Devo Baba, Aditi Devo Baba. So, first of all, Professor Viceroy Satkun Raja, Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna, and Deans of the faculties, Council members, Senior Professor Ms. Vasanthi Arasaratnam, and Mr. Suresh Kumar, Bersad University of Jaffna, Professor Surangadi Silva, attached to the Department of Economics, University of Colombo, Professor Atula Nyanapala, Dean Management Studies, University of Sabragamua, Professor Mubarak, Southeastern University, and other invitees, sponsors, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all. It is a great pleasure to assemble this auditorium to celebrate the World Tourism Day 2023 in the association with the Northern Tourism Promotional Bureau. Actually, 2018 National World Tourism Day program was celebrated at this auditorium. If we look at the history of the World Tourism Day, it has been celebrated 27th of September each year from 1980 with the different themes like culture, heritage, economic protections, environmental protections, the peace and dialogue. The last year we celebrate theme, the cultural preservation and digitalization. This year, theme of the World Tourism Day is a green investment. The green investment means the allocation of the financial resources to project or company that focus on the sustainable practice and cultural natural preservation. The goals of the green investment is to support the business that contribute positively to the environmental while generating the financial returns for the investors. The concept of green investment has been evolved over the years with the increasing the awareness about the importance of the sustainability concept and need to improve the environmental protection. Globally, the Paris Agreement on the Climate Change and UN Sustainable Development Goals has been seen as a major incentive in promoting the green investment throughout the world. The main objective of this program is to exploring the opportunities for the sustainable tourism development in northern region. At the same time, the UNWTO imposes the need for increase the investment that are mainly targeting the benefit for the people and environment and economic development. In Sri Lanka, researchers, policymakers and practitioners have recently turned their attention towards the concept of green investment. Here, we have a great prominent people to speak with us regarding to the tourism and green investment via the various lens. Actually, you may think why we want to give the more priority for the tourism development in northern province. The tourism industries make substantial contribution to the infrastructure development and economic diversification, women empowerment, improving the backward linkage, economic diversification, employment opportunities, and poverty alleviation, growth for the foreign exchange earning, creating the social harmony, improving the quality of the life of the coast people, and finally the tourism make the opportunities to interconnected with the other people. So the tourism development is necessary. When you think about tourism development, please keep one proverb. That proverb is, tourism is like a fire. You can cook on food it, and you can also burn down your house. Say the proverb, the tourism allows for the generating the physical and mental wellness of the visitors, as well as provide the fund for the economic development. On the other hand, tourism contribute to the lot of damages for the environmental and cultural heritage. So policymakers and practitioners, I wish to highlight that there is no doubt tourism development is necessary to rebuild the regional and national economy, but the development should be admire the culture, values, ethics, beliefs of the society. That is very important. If you take to develop the tourism in northern province, we have to consider the ethics and values and norms and Tamil culture of the northern people. At the same time, if we consider these kind of the facts, we can develop the sustainable tourism in future. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Good luck. Is the need for increase the investment that are mainly targeting
Thank
the
you,
benefit
sir.
for the
Your
people
words of
and
thoughts was
environment
very
and economic
impressive
development.
and guides
In
as
Sri
a
Lanka,
stepping stone to
researchers,
follow.
Policymakers and practitioners have
Felicitation
recently
is
turned their
not just an
attention
event.
towards the
It's a
concept of
celebration
green
of
investment.
excellence
Here,
and attribute
we
to
have a
those
great
who have achieved it.
prominent people
Yes.
to speak with
Now,
us,
it's
speak
the
with us
time to
regarding
invite
the
Professor
tourism
N.
and green
Gangadharan,
investment
the
via
Dean,
various
Faculty
lens.
of Management Studies and
Actually,
Commerce,
you may think
University
why
of
we want to give the
Jaffna,
more
to
priority for
orate the
tourism development in
felicitation
northern
address.
province. The tourism industries make substantial contribution to the infrastructure development and economic diversification, women empowerment, improving the backward linkage, economic diversification, employment opportunities, and poverty alleviation, growth for the foreign exchange earning, creating the social harmony, improving the quality of the life of the coast people, and
Our most respected
finally,
Vice
the
Chancellor,
tourism
University of Jaffna,
make the
Professor Sri
opportunities to
Sakunaraja sir,
connected with the other people. So the tourism
Dean
development
Faculty of
is
Arts,
necessary.
Professor S.
When you
Raghuram,
think about tourism development,
Mrs. S.
please keep
Arulanandam,
one proverb.
Head Department of
Proverb is,
History,
tourism is like a
Professor S. Sivation,
You
Program
can
Head,
cook on food, eat,
Tourism and
and
Hospitality
you
Management,
can also burn down your house.
Council
Say the
members,
proverb, the tourism allows for the
former
generating
Vice
the
Chancellors, Senior
physical and
Professor
mental
Vasanthi
wellness of the
Arasratnam,
visitors,
Professor
as well as
Balasundaram Pillai,
provide the fund for the economic
Bursa,
development.
Register,
On the other hand, tourism contributes
hoteliers,
to a lot of damages
or
for the
professors,
environmental
senior
and
lecturers,
cultural environmental and cultural
Professor
heritage.
Atula Janabala,
Cultural heritage. So
Dean Faculty of
policymakers
Management
and
Studies,
practitioners,
Sabaragamuwa
I wish to
University of Sri
highlight
Lanka,
that there is no doubt
and all
tourism
being here.
development is necessary
Good
to
morning.
rebuild the regional and
I am
national
deeply
economy. But
privileged
the
to
development
stand
should be
before
adhere
you
the culture,
to
values,
extend
ethics, beliefs
warm
of the society.
facilitations on World Tourism
If we
Day
take to develop the tourism in northern
celebrated
province, we
here
have
at
to
the
consider
University of
we
Jaffna
have to consider the
in
ethics
the
and
vibrant
values and norms
heart of
and Tamil
the
culture
northern
of the
province of Sri
northern
Lanka.
people. At the same
Since
time, if
1980s,
if we
the
consider this
United
kind of
Nations
facts, we
World
can
Tourism
develop a
Organization
sustainable
has
tourism
marked
where
the September
sustainable tourism is
27th as
Thank
a
you for
global
listening. Thank you.
commemorations recognizing us of crucial role that tourism continues to play in shaping
Your words
our
of thoughts was very impressive.
economic,
Guides as a
culture,
stepping stone
and
forward.
fostering global connections. As is
Felicitation
widely
is not
recognized,
just an
tourism
event.
stands
The
as a
celebration of
pivotal
excellence and
catalyst
achievement of those who
for
have
economic
achieved
expansion,
Yes.
creating job
Now,
openings,
it's the time
bolstering
to invite Professor
local
Gautam
enterprises, and making substantial
Faculty of
contributions
Management Studies and Commerce,
to the national
University of
GDP,
Jaffna,
accounting for
for
a notable
participating
12%
at
almost. Our country's natural wonders, from pristine beaches to lush forest, ancient temples, and warm hospitality, has always been a magnet for tourists from around the world and have long been a jewel in global tourism landscape. As we know, the tourism has many challenges encountered in the past, including COVID-19 pandemic, Easter attack 2019, and more. While the tourism has made substantial strides towards recovery, it reminds our collective responsibility to steer its future directions. On this day, as we commemorate World Tourism Day, on the theme of tourism and green investment, we acknowledge the vital role that tourism in our localities, specifically within the northern province. The northern province, once marked by conflict, has emerged as a symbol of resilience and transformations. This region, our unique cultural heritage, pristine beaches, historical sites, diverse traditions, and mouth-watering cuisines are all part of tapestries that tourists find so enchanting. So, however, with all these opportunities come greater responsibilities. The theme of tourism and green investment emphasizes our commitment to sustainable tourism policies and eco-friendly investment. We must ensure that natural and cultural assets are preserved for future generations. Let's make our universities of Jaffna as a center of excellence in sustainable tourism education and the research. Our faculty, the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, has started 4 years degree programs, Bachelor of Business Administration, honors in tourism and hospitality management, and we have a diploma in tourism and hospitality management in the pipeline, which we hope to get it go by next month. So, together, without any reservations, we can make a brighter future where our region flourish, not only academically, but also a model of responsible tourism by diligently preserving our environment. Thank you very much. Happy Tourism Day. Our collective responsibility to steer its future directions.
Thank
On
you,
this
Professor
day,
Gangadharan,
as we
Dean, Faculty of
commemorate
Management Studies
World
and Commerce,
Tourism
for your
Day,
valuable words. Ladies and
theme of
gentlemen, now I would
tourism and
like to
green
cordially
investment,
invite
we
the Vice
acknowledge
Chancellor, University of
vital
Jaffna, Professor
role that
Sri
tourism
Sadgunu Raja, for
in our
words of
locality,
blessing.
specifically within the northern province. The northern province, once marked by conflict, has emerged as a symbol of resilience and transformation. This region, our unique cultural
ஆதியை
heritage,
அமர
pristine
தொழுதேத்தும்
beaches,
சீலந்தான் பெரிதுமுடையானை
historical
சிந்திப்பவர்தம்
sites,
சிந்தையுள்ளானை
diverse traditions,
ஏலவாள்
and
குழலால் உமை நங்கை என்று
mouth-watering
ஏற்றி
cuisines
வழிபடப்பெற்ற
are all part of
காலகாலனை
tapestries
கம்பனம் மானை
that
காணக்கண்ணடியேன்
tourists
பெற்றவாறு.
find so enchanting.
Today is the important day
However, all these
in
are-
your
with
calendar
all
of the
these
UN only from the
opportunities
79.
come greater
So
opportunities.
before that we were not having this
Responsibilities.
tourism day. But from ancient time, today is the day for
Tourism and green
Pradosham.
investment
So
emphasizes our
Lord Shiva
commitment
swallowed
to
the poison
sustainable tourism
that
policies
came out
and
of the churning of the ocean, milk ocean.
investment. We must
So in this
ensure
world,
that
people are churning,
natural and
churning for
cultural
money,
assets
churning
are
for wealth,
preserved for
churning
future
for providing pleasure, churning for providing
Let's make our
preservations.
universities of
So my master
Jaffna
always quote the words P,
as a center of
pleasure,
excellence
preservation,
in
progress,
sustainable tourism,
participation,
educations and the
and
research.
so many P's
Our
are there,
faculty,
and the promise
Faculty
and
of
the potential.
Management Studies and Commerce has
So
started
Jaffna has a potential.
4 years
So Northern Province has a
degree
potential.
program,
I
Bachelor
congratulate
Business Administration,
Patinaran.
honors in human
Yeah, he
in
take a chairmanship for the
and
tourism
hospitality
industry.
management.
So even million mile journey, first step is important. So we have been coming out of the 30 years of conflict.
Which
So that itself is a
get
potential
it
for the
by
tourism.
next month.
People go different areas of conflict affected
Without an
areas to
reservation,
see what are the remains there.
take a
How do the
brighter
people live there?
future,
How do the
we have
people
a
survive
region
there?
flourish,
These
not
kind of
only
things are there for the theme,
but
for the tourism
also
also. So nothing go waste.
model of responsible
There are immense
tourism
potential for
by
us. Being a
diligently
university in the northern
preserving
region,
our environment.
this is a knowledge hub.
Thank you very
I
much.
always call it the
Happy
shrine of,
Tourism Day.
what do you call, knowledge. It's a knowledge shrine. So you can see our emblem, Mepurul Kanbadarivu. Then there are 64 flames are there. So one lit candle can light 1,000 unlit candles. Today our expert have come from Sabroma University and Southeastern University and Colombo University. They are enlightened people. So today they are going to lit us on various aspects of tourism. When I was young, my brother gave me a book. He said, if you want to know about the modern world, read Arthur Haley's Hotel, read Arthur Haley's Airport, read Arthur Haley's Hospital. Then you understand every aspects of entire business. It's a bestseller in the entire world. It's a series of book he wrote. If you read the hotel book, you understand what is all sort of things happening in the hotel. So there are good things, there are bad things. So that is churning of ocean taking place to get the best thing. To churn the milk, to get the butter and the ghee, not all the rubbish. So Sri Lanka is a dumping ground for some various part of the world to do various kind of things. Similarly, tourism goes into various aspects of domains. So it's still, Rome is one of the best center for tourists because their culture, their art galleries, their Catholic tradition, and the Julius Caesar built so many monuments and buildings, the Roman architecture. Similarly, London is a big center, Victorian, Gothian, the German. So we got to have our own. Then the Tamil Nadu is the nearest neighbor. It's a temple city. I think all the people go there. And their system is very different. They are very different. No, not having like a Colombo hotels. You don't see in Tamil Nadu. They are very small, serving the purpose. So I'm a mathematician, I know. how to set up a problem and then understanding the problem. Today, we are wonderful that our university being a knowledge center, now one of the largest university in the country. We have 12 faculties, even Peradeniya has 10 faculties. I don't know, Kelani also less. So, madam, you here, one of the, we are in the same batch, 79, Professor Arasaratnam and myself entered the university in 83 in the same day. 79, this university also inaugurated 50 years ago. So maybe you can take this as a celebration for the university also after 50 years of existence. So what do we do now? Why do we invite the Dean Management and Dean Arts to be here? Because we now concentrating providing the knowledge, the prescribed duty, another P. The Lord Krishna always stressed that. The prescribed duty. Being a center of shrine of knowledge, we have now know this hotel industry, airline industry, travel agent industry, service industry, all kind of industries are interlaced with the tourism. It's very complex now. Even the corona time, they found very difficult to cope with it because almost it's gone to the rock bottom. Now it's coming out. Now the new viruses are coming. So also the challenges are there. In these challenges, even the Benz company, the Volkswagen company, I listened in the hard talk during the corona time. How do they sustain million workers in the, the crisis time? So the companies had all their problems. That's what, we have economists, we have social scientists, we have humanities people, we have philosophy department, we have technology, we have engineering, we have medicine, we have indigenous medicine, we have Hindu studies. So this is a milk pot where you can tap the knowledge for the tourism development and zoology, ecotourism. Now we are having a mangrove and you are seeing all the bird sanctuary and all these things. So we have a zoology department. So we have a taxonomy department. If you want to have the document done for all these northern province thing, this is a place. That's what now we are focusing on two disciplines. One is the tourism and hospitality in the management faculty, 4-year program. The annual intake is almost 70, 60. Now we have another program on this arts faculty, that's the cultural tourism. So cultural tourism, another 40, 50 studying. So this is the potential we have. The human resources are very important. I know most of the hoteliers after the conflict, putting their investment here in Tilco and Jedwing and all people, they are with the anticipation and apprehension, they are looking for human resources. So this is a center, this is a time for us to engage. So we are the individuals, so we engage to achieve something. So today University of Jaffna is very proud, and also this inauguration session. After that you will have a food festival, and then the Northern Province Council will take us to the cultural center. And the potential for us, even we have one of the, apart from the University of Visual and Performing Arts, we are the only university having an aesthetic program here. Dance, music, design, art, painting, 1,000 students. So it's a wonderful place. And we welcome you all to use our potential to uplift this tourism industry in this part of the world while you are preserving our cultural values and the tradition. Still, I think spa and massage centers are not popular in Northern Province. It's a unique thing. Other part of the Sri Lanka is got geared up. So here the people are very conservative and very traditional oriented. Our beaches are there to enjoy, not to get destroyed. So this is another theme. I think Northern Province have the challenge not to go arbitrarily. So ladies and gentlemen, and Sivesan and Shanti and our management dean, Gangadharan Professor and Raghuram, thank you very much organizing this event in collaboration with the Northern Province. Then we are delighted, and we are of course going to give you best of our thing to you, and the panel discussion people, team discussion people, and all wonderful academics all the way coming from the south in our northern traditional manner. We want to host you, and we want to entertain you. So we'll find more time to interact with you. At the moment, I want to thank you and thank God for all the blessing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's what now we are focusing on two disciplines. One is the tourism and hospitality in the management faculty, 4-year program. The annual intake is almost 70.
Thank you, sir, for showering your empowering words of blessings and for your ideas about tourism.
Study. So this is the potential.
Moving on to the next felicitation address, with due respect, we warmly welcome Professor S. Raghuram, the Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Jaffna, to address the audience.
With the anticipation and apprehension, they are looking for human resources. So this is a center, this is a time for us to engage. So we are the individuals, so we engage to achieve something.
Very good morning to all the dignitaries.
Very proud.
Professor Sri Satnuraja, Vice Chancellor, University of Jaffna.
After that, you will have a
Professor Sivesan, Program Head, Tourism and Hospitality Management, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce.
center. And the
Professor Atula Jnanapala, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies, Sabragama University, who comes here to deliver the prestigious keynote address of the event. Professor N. Gangadharan, Dean, Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce, former Vice Chancellors, Deans, Mrs. S. Arulanandam, Head Department of History, Faculty of Arts, which offers the Cultural Tourism Degree Program.
and we welcome
Berzar of the University of Jaffna, Director and Board Members of Northern Tourism Bureau, Senior Government Officials, officials from private and hotel management networks, academics and students. Good morning to you all.
values and the tradition.
UN's World Tourism Organization has identified investment as one of the key priorities for the tourism recovery and future growth and development. For World Tourism Day 2023, UNWTO highlights the need for more and better targeted investment for people, for the planet, and for the prosperity. Further, it's announced that this is the time for new and innovative solutions, not just traditional investment that promote and underpin economic growth and productivity. World Tourism Day 2023 will be a call to action for the international community, governments, multilateral financial institutions, development partners, and private sector investors to unite around a new tourism investment strategy. I hope that the World Tourism Day 2023 celebration presently commenced at the University of Jaffna are also well aligned with the objective appropriately. Jaffna is a region with a rich cultural and historical heritage. While tourism in Jaffna has been somewhat limited due to the past conflicts, the area has been steadily opening up to visitors in recent years, offering unique opportunities for travelers
Thank you,
interested
sir,
in exploring its cultural,
for
historical,
showering your
and natural
empowering words of
attractions.
blessings and for your
Jaffna
ideas
always
about
holds the attention of foreigners and the local people for
Moving
its
on to the
historical
next
sites,
felicitation
which offer
address,
panoramic views of the region
respect,
and the surrounding landscape
we warmly
are
welcome
known
Professor
for
S.
elaborate
Raghuram,
architecture and religious
Faculty
significance,
of Arts,
unique
University of
cultural
Jaffna,
experiences,
to address
local
the
cuisine,
audience.
natural beauty, cultural festival, explore local markets and enjoy the hospitality. I believe that while we planning to promote tourism in Jaffna requires a strategic approach to showcase its unique cultural, historical and natural attractions. Even though we have existing promotions and plans, administrative as well as consultative structures and facilitating agencies and network, we have to explore the avenues to enhance the tourism plan to align with the contemporary trends locally, nationally and internationally. In my felicitation note, I would take this opportunity to recommend 3 key areas that should be considered for constructive effort from my own experiences as a board of directors of the Northern Tourism Bureau during the crucial days of Northern Provincial Council and my experience in the professional and academic media field. The first one, the online presence. This is the high time to further develop informative, integrative and user-friendly tourism web portals for North, which includes details about attractions, accommodations, transportation and local events, and create social media profiles and regularly update them with visually appealing content, including visual archives of Jaffna attraction. The second thing I want to highlight that the promotion of cultural and heritage tourism that aligns with the emotional, sentimental and historical values of Jaffna, that is the Vice Chancellor highlighted here. Rather than bringing and promote the so-called usual tourism attractions to the people who engage and enjoy it anywhere, Jaffna should be planned to promote responsible tourism with traditions and values and emphasize sustainable and responsible tourism practices to preserve Jaffna's natural and cultural heritage. Thirdly, the most important one, that is local engagement. Involve the local community in tourism initiatives, creating job opportunities and fostering a sense of pride in their culture and heritage. There are a number of young, energetic graduates every year who come out from the studies of cultural tourism and hospitality management from the University of Jaffna. The plan for sustainable tourism in the north should accommodate and provide opportunities to make these graduates as the potential human resources to proceed the further endeavors. The Faculty of Arts, University of Jaffna, has already commenced the reforms in curriculum development and the exposure towards the world of work to the students by giving them chances in the professional outlets as internees at the final phase of the degree program. Further, the efforts are takeoff to introduce the certificates courses in foreign languages, Dutch and French, to the students with the direct assistance and facilitation of Goethe Institute and Alliance Francaise. As the latest development, while the Vice Chancellor and officials met the French ambassador yesterday, at the request of our Vice Chancellor, they have agreed to initiate the collaboration with the French Institute of Pondicherry to provide an opportunity for the students to engage in the study French culture and heritage. Thus, we request the discussion on promoting northern tourism should seriously concern the ways to utilize the local resources available here. My blooming wishes for the success of this historical event. Thank you very much. The first one, the online presence. This is a high time to further develop informative, integrative, and user-friendly tourism web portals for North, which includes...
Thank you very much, sir, for addressing the gathering. Next, we'll move on to our next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to witness a beautiful rendition of folk songs with a blend of folk music, which depicts the culture of Northern Province. For that, I cordially invite the students from the Department of History, Faculty of Arts of University of Jaffna. Let's hear it for them.
Vice Chancellor highlighted here.
பூமி சுமந்திடும் பச்சை பிள்ளையே, அழகாய் அசைந்திடும் மயில் தோகையே, சுவாச காற்றாகவும் வாச கீற்றாகவும், வெயில் பட்டு வாடினாலும் தீப்பட்டு கருகினாலும் நிழலாகவும் உணவாகவும் உதவிடுவாய் என கிராமிய நாட்டுப்புற பாடல்கள் மூலம் நல்ல எண்ணங்களை விதைத்தனரே. அதன் சாயலில்
Involve the local community in tourism initiatives, creating job opportunities and fostering a sense of pride in their culture and heritage. There are a number of young, energetic graduates every year who come out from the studies of cultural tourism and hospitality management from the University of Jaffna. The plan for sustainable tourism in the north should accommodate and provide opportunities to make these graduates as the potential human resources to proceed the further endeavors. The Faculty of Arts, University of Jaffna, has already commenced the reforms in curriculum development and the exposure towards the world of work to the students by giving them chances in the professional outlets as internees at the final phase of the degree program. Further, the efforts are takeoff to introduce the certificates courses in foreign languages, Dutch and French, to the students with the direct assistance and facilitation of Goethe Institute and Alliance Francaise. As the latest development, while the Vice Chancellor and officials met the French ambassador yesterday, at the request of our Vice Chancellor, they have agreed to initiate the collaboration with the French Institute of Pondicherry to provide an opportunity for the students to engage in the study French culture and heritage. Thus, we request the discussion on promoting northern tourism should seriously concern the ways to utilize the local resources available here. My blooming wishes for the success of this historical event. Thank you very much. The first one, the online presence. This is a high time to further develop informative, integrative, and user-friendly tourism web portals for North, which includes...
Thank you very much, sir, for addressing the gathering. Next, we'll move on to our next segment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to witness a beautiful rendition of folk songs with a blend of folk music which depicts the culture of Northern Province. For that, I cordially invite the students from the Department of History, Faculty of Arts of University of Jaffna. Let's hear it for them.
பூமி சுமந்திடும் பச்சை பிள்ளையே அழகாய் அசைந்திடும் மயில் தோகையே சுவாச காற்றாகவும் வாச கீற்றாகவும் வெயில் பட்டு வாடினாலும் தீப்பட்டு கருகினாலும் நிழலாகவும் உணவாகவும் உதவிடுவாய் என கிராமிய நாட்டுப்புற பாடல்கள் மூலம் நல்ல எண்களை விதைத்தனரே அதன் சாயலில்
Thank you very much, girls, for a lovely performance. Moving on to our next segment of our agenda, a keynote address. To deliver a keynote address, I cordially invite our chief guest, Professor Dr. Atula Nyanapala. Professor Dr. Atula Nyanapala, a distinguished professor of tourism management at Sabaragama University of Sri Lanka, and who is currently serving as a dean of the Faculty of Management Studies of that university. Professor Nyanapala, with extensive academic experience and leadership roles, holds a doctoral degree in tourism management as well. He has a remarkable publication records, including books, articles, and presentations showcasing his expertise in this particular field. Also, he actively contributes to various academic and professional organizations, displaying a deep commitment to advancing tourism, research, and education. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our chief guest, Professor Dr. Atula Nyanapala.
Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dean of the Faculties, all other academics, the invitees, Professor Suranga Silla, Professor of Tourism, University of Colombo, Professor Mubarak, all the industry people, those who are here to support this event, which celebrate the World Tourism Day, including my good friends, Dr. Vasudevan. He is the chairman of the Alankara Resort and Spa and the proposed gold project, Hidden Valley Gold Project, Beragala. And the man of the day,
Thank you very much, girls, for a lovely
Professor
performance.
Sivasan.
Moving on to our
He is the
next
giant
segment of our
person
agenda,
behind the
keynote
organization of
address.
this
To deliver a
event.
keynote address,
I warmly
I
welcome
cordially invite
and
our
give
chief
my
guest,
due respect you to sir,
Professor
because
Dr. Atula
I highly
Nyanapala.
appreciated your valuable
Professor Dr.
contribution
Atula
to
Nyanapala,
develop
a
the tourism
distinguished
industry
professor of tourism
in
management
northern
at Sabaragama
province.
University of Sri
I am
Lanka,
really
and who is currently
enlightened
serving as a
your-
dean of the Faculty
through
of
your work.
Management Studies of that
Thank you very much for inviting
Professor
me to
Nyanapala,
deliver this
with
speech.
extensive academic experience and
I have to
leadership
tell many
roles,
things,
holds
but
a doctoral
due to the
degree
time
in
constraints,
tourism management as well.
I
He has
I will discuss
remarkable
a very few
publication
things in this
records,
forum.
including books, articles,
Today
and presentations
is the
showcasing
World
his
Tourism
expertise
Day.
in this particular field. Also, he actively contributes
Then
to
this
various
year theme
academic
is
and professional
tourism and
organizations,
green investment.
displaying
Tourism
a
and
deep
green
commitment to
investment.
advancing tourism, research, and
UNWTA,
education.
United Nations
Ladies and
World
gentlemen,
Tourism
please
Organization,
welcome our chief
they
guest,
have
Professor
selected this
Dr.
topic,
Atula
tourism
Nyanapala.
and green investment, in which they are highlighting investing in people, planet and prosperity. I believe the representative academic from the Department of Accountancy, they are highly interested about finance and accounting, but here we are focusing more on investing in people, planet and prosperity. It means, again, the triple bottom line approach we discussed many decades ago, now in new format. It is like all wine in new bottles. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dean of the Faculties. Then we all are interested about tourism. The governments, the provincial councils, divisional secretariats, the universities, we all are interested about tourism. Why? The previously, Dr. Sivasan has mentioned that we can get more benefit. At the same time, there are so many consequences also. If we use it properly, we can prepare a nice meal. If you cannot use this tourism industry, it will burn out our entire house and we will get more negative impact, negative consequences. Then we know that tourism is the world, one of the world's largest industries. If we think about the export category, tourism is the third largest industries. First, fuels, the second, chemicals, the third one is the international tourism. Then we have tourism is behind the automotive products and food processing industries. Then you can understand the power of this tourism. Power of tourism. If you think about the Sri Lankan situations, tourism is the third largest industry. First, foreign remittance. The second, garment industry. Third is the tourism industry. Then this is industry brought in 2018 around $4 billion to this country. Then why we are interested about tourism? Why we are interested about tourism? Then it creates job opportunities. Then tourism creates one job out of every 10 jobs. It means tourism industry represents 10% of the all jobs in the world. This is the power of tourism. Then 10% of the world GDP. 10% of the world GDP. Then 7% of the world exports. US dollars 1.4 trillion in exports in 2019. It is a strategy of development. Development strategy. The Sri Lanka is highly interested about tourism to develop this country, but unfortunately, we don't have proper plan, program, and strategies. But if we are thinking about our neighboring countries, Thailand, the Malaysia, Indonesia, even India, Maldives, they are getting more benefit. But the government is interested, it means we can work with the governments and related organizations to develop this industry. Then the other one is the 30% of services export. Then the other one is the environmental protection. We can earn from tourism. We can use this earned money for the environmental protections because the forests, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, that we use for tourism. We earn money. Then, for example, if a tourist go to a national park, the government charge $30. It's a big amount of money. But unfortunately, they are not investing this money back to the protection of this environment. The money will go to the treasury, then they use this money for the other purposes. This is the biggest issue. Then the other one is the cultural preservation. You know that 7 World Heritage Sites are located in Sri Lanka. Sorry, 8 World Heritage Sites, including 6 sites related to the history and archaeology. Then we earn money. We can use this money to protect and preserve these archaeological and historical monuments. It is a responsibility of the Department of Archaeology and Shelter Cultural, the funds. Then the most important thing is the peace and security. Peace and security is a peace building industry. That is why we are here. You can remember the situation 1 decade ago. Now we are enjoying the peace and prosperity of this country. That is why you are celebrating this event successfully in this Jaffna Peninsula. Yes. Then again, we have a very nice concept called the peace tourism. Peace tourism. Yeah, we can promote it in this peninsula successfully. Then we can see some photograph in Jaffna. Nice, the festivals, Nallur festivals, you have already celebrated. Then the ports, Dutch ports. Then I'm going to highlight about the tourism, the import of tourism and tourism studies. Tourism is a multidisciplinary, the subjects, multidisciplinary subject. As your Vice Chancellor correctly mentioned, this university consists of so many departments. Therefore, different degree programs. We can get together and we can have a common program to develop the tourism industry in this area, in which The Department of, it means the tourism program headed by Professor Siveshan can do a big job. At the same time, he can collaborate with the this Tourism Promotion Bureau, JAFNA, and the industry stakeholders to protect and develop this important industry in order to bring benefit to the needed area. That is one of the important tasks. The tourism will be developed, but the needed people, the general public of this country will not get the expected benefit. Then we have to have a program to bring all these people to the industry. We need the big industry. We need big industry. Big hotels we need. Big travel agency we need. Big resort we need. At the same time, we have to pay attention about the small, medium, and micro scale industries. How can we empower our local community? How we empower our women, the vulnerable group, to have inclusive growth? These are the things we have to think about. Otherwise, we cannot maintain the sustainability of this industry. There may be a conflict between the industry and the local community. This has happened in Sri Lanka as well as in other countries. We have to think about, we have to learn lesson from these incidents. Then you can see the statistic of year 2019, the situation of the world tourism industry. World had received 1,481 millions of tourists and 1.4 trillions of US dollars to the global economy. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, in the year 2020, 2021, 2022, we lost this tourist arrival. At the same time, we lost this income. We are suffering. We suffer. Sri Lanka also suffering due to the lack of income, since we were unable to earn the tourism in these years. Then it created a big economic crisis and political crisis. Still we are suffering. Then this is the situations in year 2020. Then in the year 2019, there were tourist arrival 1,461 million. In year 2020, it has dropped to the 1,381,000. This is the situations very closer to the year 2000. Not the 2000, the situation of 1990. Then again, you can see the power of tourism. This is the power. If we use this industry wisely, we can bring many benefit to the country, these local regions. Yeah. Then the tourists will bring dollars to this country. Therefore, we have to have a strategy to spend this money within the local region, Northern Peninsula. Otherwise, there may be some leakages. The money will leave to other countries, the foreign currency will leave, then even the money will leave to other regions. This is happening in Eastern Province. The hotels are there, tourists are there, but the money will not retain in this region because the hotels are belong to the owners of the other region or foreign country. The employees are from other countries. The investors are from the other regions. Therefore, the money will not retain. Poverty is there. We have to reduce this poverty. How can we reduce this poverty? We have to bring the local people into the industry in terms of investment, micro, small and medium industries. Then the other one is the employment opportunities. We have to create it. But we know that we have some cultural barriers. The females are, sometimes if female work in the tourism industry, sometimes they will not get the due recognition. We have to remove the myth. If you think about the other countries, the tourism industry employ the 50% of the total employment. If it is 100 work in the tourism industry, 54 belong to the female. But here, we cannot find at least 10% represents the females. This is a big barrier. This is the barrier. that we have to change this attitude, the myth. Then we have to empower them, we have to improve their capacities, we have to improve their skills to bring them into the tourism industry. Then the other one is the most important thing is the tourism, the value chains. This value chain, I will not discuss this one, this is a very big concept, but then the value chain consists of the actors and players of the tourism industry. For example, transportation, the accommodation, food and beverages, the tourism attraction, the support services. Then most of the time, as I mentioned previously, we have to encourage our local people, the local investors in this area. Otherwise, then the outsiders will come to this industry. Since you are living in this place, you born in this area, you have a responsibility to protect your culture, your environment. Therefore, you are highly interested to protect this environment. Then your culture, local traditions. Therefore, we have to encourage our local investors, local employees, local suppliers. How can we do it? These people are having so many issues and problems. Then the governments, the northern, the provincial council, they have to help them to improve their knowledge, skills, the attitudes. At the same time, they have to have training program, the financial support. Otherwise, they will not come to the tourism sector. This is happening in the other areas of this country. Then you can learn good lessons, good example from the other areas. Then this is the responsibility of the authorities, especially the provincial council of the northern province. Now the provincial council is dissolved, but the governor is there. The tourism promotion bureau is there. Then you have to have some program to empower them. This is one of the important factors we have to consider. Otherwise, the money will not remain in this Jaffna Peninsula. The money will outflow. The employees come from the other areas. They are money-minded people because they are interested about the profit. What is the amount they can take at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. But this is your motherland. You love this place. Therefore, we have to encourage the people from this area to invest in the people, to work in tourism, to manage the tourism industry in this area. Then the other one is what is the green investment, the tourism and the green investment. Then the green investment, as I mentioned previously, then the World Tourism Organization, they have highlighted the theme, the tourism and the green investment. Then if you go through some definitions, green investment refers to the allocation of financial resources to project our businesses that focus on sustainable practices, environmentally friendly technologies, and the conservation of natural resources, business practices that have a favorable impact on the natural environment, often grouped with socially responsible investment SRI criteria. Green investment focuses on companies or projects committed to conservation of natural resources, pollution reduction, or other environmentally conscious business practices. Then if I go through the theme of World Tourism Day, they have highlighted 3 areas. The theme highlighted the vital need to deliver investment for projects that work for the people by investing in education and skill. The second one is the planet by investing in sustainable infrastructure and accelerating green transformation. The third one, the prosperity by investing in innovation, technology and entrepreneurship. If you think about the first one, the people, how can we bring the needed people to the tourism industry? This is one of the challenges we are facing. We want to have inclusive growth in which we want to bring the vulnerable group, the females, youth to this industry. Then we have some program. We train them, but unfortunately, we will not retain in this country. they like to migrate to other countries. They like to go either Maldives or Middle East, seeking the better the salaries and better facilities. We train them. The university train, the Ceylon school, Ceylon hotel school train, some other private sector organizations train the employees, but unfortunately, they will not retain in the industry. Then the other one is the locals, the villagers, the females, they have so many the problem and issues. The poverty is there. How can we eradicate the power? Then we have to empower them. We have to improve their capacities. Then we have to take them into the tourism industry. Then we have to have a proper the program and plan, especially to empower the females participation in tourism operation. As I mentioned previously, the world tourism employees represent, it means 54% represent by females. But the situation in Sri Lanka, it is more vulnerable, less than 10%. Even we don't have statistics. Then the other one is the planets. How can we go for investing in sustainable infrastructure and accelerating green transformation? Then you can go some example. Then we can go for renewable energies. The solar power, wind power, hydropower, thermal power, biomass energies. Some hotel industries, now they have adopted these the technologies, but it will cost, but in long run, it brings more profit to the industry. Then the other one is the carbon credit and offset program. Then our Sri Lankan companies, even the John Keels, it means workers tours, they're practicing it. The carbon credit and offset, they compensate for the damage they have done to the environment. Yeah. They are thinking about the profit. They don't think only of the profit. They think about the social responsibility. Then the other one is the energy efficiency and conservation, the green building, using of the green building materials, go for energy management system, the green certification, for example, the certification like LEED, ISO 14001, Green Globe, ISO 14064, then ISO 50001, ISO 14046, and water footprint, etc. Now industries adopting this kind of green measurement, green practices, because at the end of the day, they have to ensure the sustainability of the industry. On the other hand, we have to think about our tourists. Our customers are more environmental conscious. They think about our practices. If we damage our environment, if we pollute our environment, especially the European tourists, they do not like to come and stay in our hotels. For example, I will tell you, we love the elephant tourism. But some European companies, for example, the leading tour operator TUI, they have advised Sri Lankan, the partners, not to bring our tourists for these animal cruelty activities. They are more concerned about the sustainability, the practices. This one example. Then the other one is the waste management and recycling, the circular economy, the waste to energy technologies. Then we have to go for the pollution control, the methods. Then we have to think about in this green investment. There are some examples I have found in Sri Lankan practices. This Nugagama, Asia's first carbon neutral venue. Then the Colombo Courtyard, carbon neutral hotels. Then the other one is the Clamanda Unawatuna Beach, Sri Lanka's first carbon neutral beach resorts. Then this Kumbuka Chalet, the certified carbon neutral hotels. Then we know the Kandalam hotels. It's one of the environment friendly hotels. Previously they told that they are previously they marketed as at the very beginning ecotourism practice in hotels, but due to the misuse of this concept by different practitioners, now they are telling that we are environmentally friendly, the concept, environmentally friendly, the hotels. Then these are the things I wanted to highlight in this my speech. The speech on the tourism and the green investment. I have to tell many things with you, but due to the time constraint, I will wind up this session. However, I have to give a message to the Vice Chancellor. Vice Chancellor is not here, but the Dean of the faculties are here, the head of the departments are here, maybe some council members and the investors. Then the University of Jaffna, they can take the leading role to develop the tourism industry in Jaffna Peninsula, in which Professor Siveshan can take the leading role. He is one of the experts and veteran in tourism industry. The private sector can support. Then they can introduce departments, the tourism department in the faculty. Then they can have a training the hotels, training hotels to train their students. Then they can have action plan to bring this vulnerable group to the tourism industry with the support of the Northern Provincial Council, with the support of the Tourism Promotion Bureau, and the industry expert, they can support to the tourism industry. Otherwise, when we come to not the next year, maybe 5 or 6 years time, the industry may be not existing or exit, but it's not the sustainable way. The industry can move towards in different directions. Therefore, you have to think about the sustainability of this industry. Then you can get some example from the Nigambu area, then Hikadu area, the good example from then the Arugambe. We are getting very bad experiences. Now the local residents are selling their lands and moving some other areas due to the bad impact of tourism. I believe, I wish this will not happen in this beautiful area. The beautiful people are here, the beautiful investors are here. Then you should all get together and should protect this industry, and this industry should exist and should develop, but in sustainable way. I wish you all the best, all the organizers, especially Dr. Siveshan and Professor Siveshan and the team for organizing this wonderfully. Thank you very much. Good luck and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Atula Gnanapala, for your keynote address and for gracing this occasion. We are really honored and privileged to have you here with us today. We are really honored and privileged to have you here with us today. Next, I would like to call Dr. Vasudevan Raseya, the chairman of Haldamulla, Uva province, to present a small memento, a small token of appreciation to our chief guest, Professor Dr. Atula Gnanapala. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are going to witness a beautiful folk dance performance by the students of Department of History, Faculty of Arts. This folk dance will depict the ancient traditional culture of Northern Province. Let's hear it for the girls.
புத்துணர்ச்சியை தரும் மன அழுத்தத்தை குறைக்கும் மன சோர்வை நீக்கும் இசையுடன் கூடிய கிராமிய நடனம் இனிமையான விருந்து கண்களுக்கு இம்மேடையை அலங்கரிக்க கிராமிய நடத்தினால் சிறப்பிக்க கலைப்பிடத்தின் வரலாற்றுத்துறை மாணவர்களை அன்புடன் அழைத்து நிற்கின்றோம். நெறியாள்கள் திஷான், தர்ஷிகா மற்றும் ரிஷாலினி.
தனதன தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே தனதன தந்தனே உரியிலிட்டு குத்தி புதைத்து சுலகிலிட்டு பதரை நீக்கி அரிசி எடுப்போமே நாங்கள் படைத்திடுவோமே தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே சுலகு பிடித்து நெல்லை புடைத்து சேர்ந்து நாங்கள் பாடிடுவோமே கதிர் விளைந்த பயனை எண்ணி பாடுவோமே தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே தனதன தந்தானே 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 சுலகு பிடித்து அரிசி தன்னை கொட்டி புடைத்து பதரை நீக்கி அரிசி தன்னை
அரிசி விளைஞ்ச ஊரு என் அத்தை பிறந்த ஊரு என் அத்தை பிறந்த ஊரு இப்போ சுத்த சுடுகாடு
கரும்பு விளைஞ்ச ஊரு ஏன் அப்ப பிறந்த ஊரு கரும்பு விளைஞ்ச பூமி இப்போ தரிசு நிலமாச்சு கரும்பு விளைஞ்ச பூமி இப்போ தரிசு நிலமாச்சு
என்ன சொல்ல வந்த ஓஹோ அப்படியா இத பாருடா அப்படி என்னதான் சொல்ல போறாங்க பாப்பா வாடா
check one. This check. This check. Check.
Thank you, girls, for the phenomenal dance performance. I hope everybody enjoyed the dance. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled to welcome you all to the most anticipated and the important program on our agenda today, the panel discussion. We have gathered esteemed panel of experts, each with unique insights, to delve into the crucial topic of exploring opportunities for sustainable tourism development in Northern Province. First and foremost, I would like to welcome the chairperson for this panel discussion, Professor Dr. D.A.C. Surangasilva, a distinguished professor in tourism economics at the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. He is renowned for his expertise and contributions to the field, serving as Secretary General of the Tourism and Hospitality Educators and Researchers Association of Asia, and a lead trainer for the Global Sustainable Tourism Council. Professor Silva holds a PhD in tourism economics and has a rich academic background, actively engaged in research and teaching. With a strong focus on ecotourism and sustainable practices, he extensively plays a pivotal role in the international tourism forums. Next, I would like to extend my welcome to Professor Mubarak Kaldeen. At present, he is a marketing professor at Southeastern University of Sri Lanka, visiting professor for tourism studies at University of Colombo, co-chair of International Tourism Research Conference, co-editor of Journal of Tourism Economics and Applied Research, senior advisor of Research and Publication and International Tourism Leaders Summit, the president of Tourism and Hospitality Educators and Researchers Association of Asia, and also the member of Institutional Review and Quality Assurance. Midst of his busy schedules and programs, Professor Mubarak Kaldeen is here with us to discuss on the topic of destination branding. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. Eugene Yugaraja Andrew Charles, a distinguished senior lecturer at University of Jaffna, Sri Lanka. With extensive expertise in computer science and a strong academic background, Dr. Charles stands as a prominent figure in the Sri Lankan academic community. His research interests span into diverse areas such as data mining, machine learning, and natural language processing. Today, a variety of valuable insights and expert opinions on the role of digitalization on tourism development in the northern region is to be shared by Dr. Charles. Next on list, we have Mr. M. Dayakaran, who presently serves as the Regional Credit Head of the Northern Region, who mainly focuses on projects undertaken by SMEs and MF enterprises. He has more than a 25 year of experience in the banking industry. His immense participation, experiences at many workshops, seminars, webinars related to SME and MF enterprises, with special reference to Northern Province, will be delivered to us as some valuable insights under the discussion topic of access to finance to develop tourism industry. The emerging aspect of private-public participation in the tourism industry is to be discussed by Mr. Nishad Vijayatunga, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Wafers. Mr. Nishad Vijayatunga has been the driving force behind Wafers since he joined the business over 25 years ago. Further, he is the current president of the Sri Lanka Association of Inbound Tour Operations. Once again, I'd like to express my heart-filled gratitude to all the distinguished guests for gracing us with your presence today. Your expertise will be the cornerstone of our panel discussion's success. Now, I hand over the session to our guests. Thank you.
Very good morning. It is indeed a great pleasure and privilege for being invited for these valuable discussions. So before we are starting, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Jaffna and the organizing committee, specifically Professor Dr. Siveshans, all other deans and heads and the participants, your presence is so meaningful for us. As Vice Chancellor rightly said, Northern Province has a great potential for tourism development. I also believe that we also believe, all the panel members, yes, Northern Province has a great potential. The biggest challenge is how to convert this potential as a product, rather than keeping the potential as a potential forever. For that particular purpose, I would like to give a little background, as our keynote speaker, Professor Atula, clearly mentioned. Tourism and green investment is very important. UNWTO World Tourism Day 2023, the theme is tourism and green investment. Investment for what? Investment for people. Investment for people prosperity. Investment for income generations. Investment for the great partnership in the industry. Ultimately, whatever investment we are doing, it should ensure the ecological balance, environment protections. Otherwise, it will be a huge cost for the next generations. That is why we are calling sustainable tourism development. We must ensure that every effort we are making for tourism development should not prevent the right of the next generations when they are doing their tourism activities. So, our tourism effort must be inclusive and integrated. As you know, that tourism industry is multifaceted and interconnected industry. Once you spend $1 into one particular activity, it will spill over all the areas. So how fast we can get it, how many people we can get it, how can we multiply that $1 is the biggest challenge. As you know that we have the tourism industry three effect: direct, indirect, induced effect. Connect with the backward forward linkages. So therefore, we have to look at all these aspects. As our keynote speaker explained, the value change. What is value chain means? We have to create the value to the customer. When you create the value to the customer, we have to generate the money out of it. Without making the value to the customer, we can't create anything. So therefore, Sri Lanka tourism, if you want to contribute the big contribution for Sri Lanka tourism development, from the northern tourism development, it should be integrated. It should be integrated with all the communities and use maximum utilization of the resources available. The potential should be tapped. It should not be untapped. So that is the great challenge Northern Province tourism is prevailing right now. One of the best advantage Northern Province tourism is it is yet not polluted. It is yet not used by anybody because of the 30 years war. Now you have a restart. When we look at the tourism industry's destination life cycle, we can see that Northern tourism is to go exploring and growth level. So therefore, Northern tourism, if you can plan it properly, you would not get the undesirable impact like what Hikkadu destinations or other destinations are happening. Now you have been seeing that other destinations are now overcrowding. So there will be a tourism phobia. So therefore, we have invited very valuable panel members representing every section. So therefore, first I would like to invite the most important, one of the most important panel member who is expert in marketing and management, Professor Mubarak. As you know that tourism is very decisive when the customer reactions. If you cannot understand the customer properly, then your product is not going to meet their demand. So you have seen that global tourism, new customers are coming. They are more discerning customers. Tourism industry is more challenging, churning. So under these situations, new customers are coming, they are asking green product, wellness tourism. So rich tourists are asking green product, wealthy tourists are asking wellness tourism or wealthy tourism product. So how do you think that Northern Province tourism, how we can match with their demand pattern? So before that one, I would like to ask from you, Professor Mubarak, tell us about what are the recent trend of the tourist behavior and their demand patterns, how we can match their demand pattern with Northern tourism product.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you very much, Professor. And how long I can take? 10 minutes?
10 minutes only.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you very much. All right. So thank you very much for posing me that question on tourism or tourist behaviors. Focusing on tourist behavior and analyzing the changes, behavioral changes are much more interesting and very important for tourism industry. I would like to pinpoint a few behavioral changes and how we can respond to it considering the time factor. The tourist-centered or tourist-centric strategy and providing positive experiences to tourists will continue to evolve. There is no option for us. We have to give a total experience to the tourist. The middle class travelers and emerging new segments like solo travelers, silver travelers, we call it silver tourism or senior travelers, still is growing. So personalized travel experiences will be the norm. We would provide customized itineraries, activities, recommendations based on the individual preferences. Tourists are or will use technology for planning their travel bookings and their trips. And also travelers will seek out eco-friendly, cleanliness and safety accommodations and choose destination that provide sustainable practices. In the morning also, Professor Atula was explaining it about. So travelers will prioritize unique experiences over traditional travelers will sightseeing or seeking opportunities for holistic interaction and experience. So even hoteliers cannot be happy that we are selling a good and comfortable sleep per night. This is our duty. No, we have to go beyond this particular accommodation services to total experience. So the hotels are theme-based. Even every single rooms are theme-based, giving a different experience. That is what they require in future. So importance of nature tourism, health and wellness will continue to grow, as our Vice Chancellor explained in the morning. Wellness tourism, including yoga, Ayurveda treatment and mindfulness experiences with high yield in future. So extended stays and slow travels will be a common feature. So extended work from home concept can mean that people tend to stay a little more. They can stay because they can work from here. Even adventure tourism, cultural tourism, and even extreme sports are preferred. Therefore, travelers will increasingly prioritize diversity and inclusion in their experience. So, from the above few points which I made, I believe that we can address to those behavioral changes by promoting tourism in traditional, authentic, cultural and heritage destinations like Northern Province. We have all the potentials to meet these needs. So we require a unique set of marketing strategies to meet. So we have to look at the past, present and future. There are many past cultural, even food, art, or even martial arts have been vanished and now we don't have anymore. So we have to research and find out what we can bring back to whether we can introduce those past traditions to our present situation. And also we have to look at the present situation, what we have and how we can market it to travelers that are looking for a new experience. And we should not forget futures, travelers in the future. So at least 2030, we have to have a plan. So we should get ready now for future tourism. So these past, future, present analysis should be done and we should have this plan. Therefore, I focus on the marketing strategies. If you look at the media and communication, content marketing remains the heart of tourism. Optimizing content for voice and video. Search is crucial for optimizing, especially visitor-generated content. Visitor-generated content will remain. So we have seen there are many websites, travel blogs have been developed, even North Province, tourism, so many websites and blogs I just browse so that limited information are given on those websites. And I'm happy to see that at least in the province website there are 10 tour packages were developed for Jaffna and it is right? But what I recommend is this should be more informative and virtually or visually appealing websites, blogs, and should include quality, captivating images, voice, video of history, unique stories, storytelling, and engaging contents with cultural richness. And we should highlight eco-friendly. Now we talked about an eco-friendly initiative such as conservation and support for local community. On the other hand, we also should develop a tourist database or data bank. We also develop a promotion bureau to do that. Northern Province, based on this university, we can develop this. We can continue to do some surveys and find out. We can develop understand their preferences, and we can devise plans based on that. At the same time, all our tourism stakeholders are here. We are collaborating, but we are not making collaborative initiatives to give a package to the tourists. So we have to have some collaborative tour packages or experiences that we can offer tourists for the, especially for northern province. And we also must do some cross promotion, at least the other districts in province or the other province also we can promote. So this cross promotion will lead to a longer stay of tourists. So also we are organizing, I know, many cultural festivals and other events. Even today we have organizing culture and all that. But do we have prepared a year calendar? What is the year calendar for 2024? Because tourists plan their tours in advance. Now we are looking for 2024 plan. So we should know what are the events that are going to happen or happening in this province in the next year. So this also should be promoted through media. We promoting that through media. And also we should have a partnership with travel agencies, tour operators, and even organizers in order to market. Therefore, in marketing traditional destinations, authenticity and genuine connection to the local culture as the key selling point of Northern Province. I would recommend that we should do heart marketing, reclaiming the hearts of customers, and also extreme marketing, reclaiming the hearts to do an extreme marketing and also. So my last focus is to do all of this. We need to have the right human resources. Are we producing the right skills? There is a huge talent shortages in tourism. Our tourism workforce will require a new set of skills and talents in future. Data science and AI may be important, but at the same time, I always believe that we also should have HI. HI means human intelligence. That is important. So human intelligence and creativity is important for tourism sector. Therefore, university can play a major role here in developing right talents and skills for the tourism areas. So with these points, I would like to conclude my submission in this forum. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I would like to thank you for a wonderful audience for listening to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Mubarak. You also summarized very importantly what you have mentioned. The potential is good but not good enough. We have to convert the potential as a product. Product is going to be experience. What Professor Mubarak said, ultimately whether we are successful or not determines the experience, how much experience we have generated for the tourist. Very interesting point to mention HI, human intelligence. So that is also very important. We are talking about AI, but without forgetting the HI, very important. Thank you very much for your valuable things. We have highlighted so important typologies of tourism. I think wisdom you can use for tourism development. In this particular presentation, we would like to talk a very important point, that is the partnership. The partnership is very important for any type of development. If we don't have a right partnership, then we cannot promote any tourism, because tourism is a multi-faceted, interconnected industry. So with that message, we know that partnership with the private, public, and specifically that people. We can't isolate the people from the industry. So I would like to ask for the most suitable person, the president of SCIDO. You have been involved in the industry and you have been supporting us also. So you are coming here, must be appreciated from Colombo, and you must be busy because of the World Tourism Day celebrations. But here we must promote and we must inculcate some sort of valuable ideas for the northern tourism development, the partnership, what kind of partnership we need, and how we can create the partnership through the synergy effect. More impact for tourism, how we can create a partnership. So Mr. Nishad, please provide your valuable insight for us.
Thank you, Professor Saranga, and thank you, Professor Saranga, for inviting me. It's pleasure to be here. North has always been very close to my heart. I spend a lot of school holidays here in Manipai as a child, and have a lot of fun in Manipai. So when the North opened up, as you know, I'm a destination management company, or I run my own destination company in tourism countries. One of the first things we did was to do a tour which covers. We were doing tours for 14 days. We did a tour that covered the entire. We were doing tours over a period of 14 days, because we felt that the people in the north had to benefit from the effects from the tourism industry. So, talking about partnership. So, we as destination management companies, our role is actually putting everyone together. Hotelier will invest and build his hotel, and he will run his hotel. But if nobody markets the destination and brings the tourists in, and then also you have tour guides, the transport people, and then transportation and product. But it is the destination management companies that put everything together. So over the years we have seen that, as Professor said, partnerships are very, very, very important. The tourism industry itself is actually 100% under tourism industry, and the tourism industry, the partnership, especially from the government side, is the regulator and also the promotion. And then, of course, with regard to promotion, there is a lot of participation from the private sector, also in the government institutions which are related to tourism. So there is a Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, which is a regulatory body. Then there is a Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, which is responsible for the promotion of tourism, which is responsible for the destination Sri Lanka. And also there is the Sri Lanka Convention Bureau, which looks after MICE tourism business, Sri Lanka Convention looks after tourism. And the most important one at this moment actually is the Sri Lanka Institute of Tourism and Hotel Management, which produces the human resource for the industry. I don't know whether you all are aware, post-COVID, economic meltdown, we are having a huge problem with human resource for the industry across the board. Not only hoteliers, not only hotels, DMCs, transporters, everyone is facing the same issue. And therefore, I think it's very important that we also bring in the different university, programs, or we partner up as the private sector industry. People partner up with the academia of the different universities who are offering tourism as a subject. And it is indeed very, very encouraging to see that most universities are now offering tourism as a subject. And I am also aware that people from the industry like DMCs and hoteliers are also invited to these universities, resource personnel, and also to lectures on different subjects to the students. If I may go one step further, we have been talking with Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, who has a division called the Community Outreach Division within their organization. We have been telling them that they need to go out there and stress the importance of young people coming into the tourism. As you know, there are two problems. One is tourism industry is a very volatile industry. The slightest problem anywhere, the first industry to get hammered is the tourism industry. And the second problem, unfortunately, is that in many communities of this country, I have seen, people have wrong perceptions about joining the industry. And that is very sad because we have a lot of young people who have come into this industry. And I always say this is an industry that grows on you. I mean, once you get into it, it grows on you, you begin to enjoy every part of it. Yes, like any other industry, there are the negative sides. I'm not saying no. Yes, but that doesn't mean that every person who gets into this industry becomes a part of it or makes it their career path, gets led astray or becomes or gets into this whatever the negative side of what is being talked about. So it is important to understand and see the importance of the tourism industry. And recently, I was telling Professor Surami earlier, I heard the chairman of the Sri Lanka Institute of Hotel Management made a speech somewhere, and he said something very important. He said, that for a country to actually prosper and be successful, for a tourism, that tourism has to start for every single citizen of the country. Unfortunately, we don't see that. But the tourists who come here, our experience is they go back, they give us feedback. And almost always the highlight is the friendly smiles and the welcoming nature of the people. But sometimes we don't see that. We have a lot of negative stuff also happening and tourists getting harassed and hassled. So those are things that we need to quietly address and overcome, and this is why we have been talking to this LTTA from private schools, and have been stressing the importance of them carrying out some kind of awareness programs in the communities that are close to the tourism areas for two things. One is to encourage the people, whatever location they are in, to welcome, encourage, and to understand whatever value they bring in to this country and to our economy, and also to encourage more young people to actually join the industry. So that said, join the industry. As far as the North is concerned, like I said, that's very close to my heart. I've always had very memorable times. Very close to my heart. Actually, I would say you all have a distinct advantage that the North has not unfortunately had the opportunity of promoting tourism in the last 30 years. We all know why. But now you've got a chance to start anew, and I would really advise you, as somebody who has been in this industry for 30 years, I would advise you to study what has happened, look at what is happening in other areas, and don't make the same mistakes. Learn from those mistakes, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Everybody knows how things work, but adapt the best from those. And going forward, believe me, the developed world, or I don't know if that's politically correct for me to say, but tourists who come here, majority of who come here expect experience. They come here for experience. They come to Sri Lanka for experiences, not just to look at scenery or there's a lot more that they expect. And in order to deliver that in a sustainable manner, we have to be conscious of our environment. We have to be conscious that we have the areas we visit. After all, tourism, what are we selling? We are selling the areas that we live in. Tourism, naturally, we are selling culture that we have, a rich culture, and so therefore all those areas are what we have to sell. And if we don't protect those areas in time to come, and if we don't protect, also it is important from sustainability, and if we don't, to ensure that the tourism from an economics point of view, that the economy also helps the people, and that tourism. I would actually, one thing over the years, even in the recent times, since tourism started in the north, we have seen hotels coming out, but we haven't really seen any DMCs established in the north, so people can, actually provide the services of research management company, not necessarily the marketing support as well, but to provide the transportation, guides, to do packages for tourists to come up. I encourage you to do that or to establish something like that, because that way, what you can see now, the little bit of tourists that are coming out here, either they are coming organically, they just pick something off booking.com or something and then find their own way here, or if it's an organized tour, you'll find that the local transporter in Colombo and the rest of the country are coming here, and you'll find basically those people. So if you invest, the easiest and the fastest mode of transport to Jaffna is the train, and that is enjoyed by the majority of tourists. What you can do is, if you can provide those services to the DMCs and to operators directly, you will be encouraging them to come here, and you will benefit. The local people will benefit. The drivers, guides from the northern province will get work and employment. So when you are looking at expansion in tourism, look at that, consider that, and try to make sure that the community benefits. And when the community benefits, that is when they see the value of the industry, when they will in turn benefit the industry. So it is a fantastic industry. It's something young people should take to base on you, and also end of the day, it's as good as any export industry. You're bringing in foreign exchange, valuable foreign exchange into the country. So definitely do that and build partnerships with the local, with the rest of the tour operators, DMCs in the south, partnerships with the government sector, regulate so that you can get with whatever licensing is done. But try to build your own, try to build from within, and most importantly, learn from the mistakes that have been made in the rest of the country. Try to don't make the same mistakes. That way you will learn from very good and prosperous industry, valuable industry, which will be actually something, an operation, a tourism operation in this part of the country where people can operate and be proud of, and the rest of the country can also an operation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nishad Vijaytunga. So you are very valuable points. I would like to summarize the point that you have mentioned. One is, okay, young students to understand that Mr. Nishad said very clearly, we are lacking, northern province is lacking travel agent operation. So actually right now you can start that one. That's a good insight provided by the industry associations, the most responsible industry association. At the same time, look at the past failures. and the best practices and learn something when you are starting your tourism in Northern Province. These are very important to point Mr. Vijay explained. I think this would be a very good point to think about how we are going to develop our own travel agencies and destination management organizations and making it better. Sometimes we can see the cultural barriers you may not be allowed to go. Second very important point may highlight rather than the Colombo people are squeezing money from your destinations, why you can't start your own travel transport if the tourists are using the railway transport to come to Jaffna. That is also very important. Ultimately, people must be happy with the tourism, otherwise there is no tourism. People must have some income and they feel that this is their own industry. I would like to go to the next. And your area is very important. You know that digitization of tourism is very, very important because as Nishad explained very clearly, Booking.com other companies are actually getting significant of money out of tourism. But it is needed because otherwise we can't get the international exposure to tourism. But anyway, what is the role of digitization of tourism? But it is needed internet to ICT facility or something according to expertise. How we can see that what are the challenges you are facing right now when using the digitalization into northern tourism, and what are the possible suggestions you would like to come to all students to make northern tourism is so unique and outstanding tourism?
Thank you, Professor Rangan. Hello, and thank you, distinguished students. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me as part of this discussion. I don't have to explain you the power or the importance of the ICT. I don't have to explain you. We have first-hand experience. The power of ICT. We have the QR code for fuel rationing. So experience. I can say we can solve the or somewhat reduce or when it say make these fuel queues solve when it's within few days. Somewhat. So how this ICT can be utilized? The ICT is utilized in every aspect of the world now. So how this ICT can be? The first thing is for ICT to work, we need the information. The data, the first thing information about the accommodations we have here, information about the places of interest in Jaffna, details of the services available, places of all sort of this information data in the internet, then only the ICT can services permitted, services available, places of data. So in this aspect, I would say the platform, the ICT infrastructure is already available. So in Jaffna, recent mobile connectivity ICT infrastructure platform. So in any place you can get a decent signal the web, get a code, and say mostly all the except some users, all the other people have smartphone and they have social media accounts. So the platform is there. So how this platform can be utilized? That's what I am going to share. So first thing for the service providers, they already have some sort of presence. If you search for an organization on the internet, you can get at least some number and the location. So that's a good thing. Say most of the organizations, they have some sort of information. They already have some basic information. So that's it. But that is not enough. This need to be well structured with but that information as but that is not enough. With pictures, videos, but that is not enough. Text. These need to be so they need to invest on this aspect. How they can promote not only local. So they have to